all the latest crazy news in the world happening right now and the interesting things that have cropped up in the last week or so. Let's dive right in and have a look. Nearly 3,000 UFO sightings reported in the first half of 2025. Reports of unidentified flying objects have surged in recent months, preparing for the Great Deception, drawing attention from experts, unknown drips under pressure, and the public. According to data compiled by the National UFO Reporting Center, which we can obviously trust, come on, nearly 3,000 sightings were documented in the US alone during the first half of 2025. The figure marks a significant increase compared to previous years, highlighting a growing interest in aerial phenomena. They are building and building to make it more mainstream, more acceptable, so that when the time comes and they need an explanation for what happened to all these people that disappeared in a twinkling of an eye, they can always blame the aliens. Hashtag marked safe from the mothership right now. Reports of Jesus revealing himself in dreams are surfacing in Kazakhstan. How amazing is that? In the vast rugged landscapes of Kazakhstan, a profoundly spiritual transformation is taking place. Amidst ancient traditions and a predominantly Islamic culture, a small but growing number of Uyghurs are embracing Christianity, often through extraordinary encounters with Jesus in dreams. Now, many years ago in the ministry, I was told by missionaries from the Amazon rainforests actually, that they would arrive at tribes in the forests where no man has ever been. And once they'd learned the language and they try to give them the gospel, they'd say, hold up, we already know this man. We know Jesus. He came and introduced himself to us. And there would be miraculous stories about how God is in the field doing the work himself. That when we are not getting around to people that need to be reached, Jesus is reaching them. And we've seen this year as well, Palestinians having dreams and visions of Jesus and then flocking to churches and becoming Christians. And now we've got this happening in Kazakhstan. God is busy in the field with us because time is so limited. And that in itself is so precious. How awesome to be busy in the field with the Lord. And while we're working, one of these days he's going to waltz up next to us and say, come on, time to go home. We're done for now. Absolutely precious. Pray for the people in Kazakhstan who are having these experiences for strength and support and everything they need in their Christian walks. Then a woman died and says she saw flames in the pit of hell with souls crying for help. On a fateful trip from LA to Las Vegas, 51-year-old Yoga Premananda from Florida faced a life-altering event that she claims took her to the edge of hell. In the car accident, she lost control, leaving her with her legs crushed under the steering wheel. As she gasped for air, she passed to the other side. What followed was a vivid and terrifying near-death experience that she shared. After the accident, she found herself in a cold and dark room before descending into a terrifying pit. The atmosphere was oppressive, marked by a strong smell of smoke and shadowy figures lurking. Her vivid description of the hell realm aligns with accounts that depict dark, chaotic, and fiery landscapes. And she goes on and on about this whole experience. Yes, hell is real. Even though some prominent pastors have said it's just terminology, it's not true. It is true. There is a hell. But what they neglect to tell you is God didn't make hell for us. He made it for the devil and his angels. But the devil and his angels have extended the invitation to us to join in rebellion against Christ and go to hell with them. That is not the place God intended for us. God intended for us to be with him. But make no mistake, hell is very real. But I don't serve the Lord because of my fear of hell. I serve him because of how amazing and awesome he is. Because he is my God. And I'm sold out to him 150%. Then Obama says, boys, and I watched this interview because I thought, let me just make sure. And yeah, it's sickening. The whole interview is quite twisted. He was on his wife's podcast. Obama says boys need homosexual men in their lives because dads can't be everything. The former president encouraged fathers of boys to engage in a form of homosexual or transgender grooming. Former President Barack Hussein Obama delivered the shocking message during an appearance on his wife's podcast, asserting that every dad needs to have a gay man in his circle of friends in case his son identifies as gay or non-binary. How twisted and evil is the enemy to push these kind of things? No, it's not important to have a man in the child's life in the home as it should be, a man and a woman constituting a family under God. No, you need a gay man just in case. What could go wrong? Australia moves closer to a cashless society. They've been leading the charge for a while now, and the rest of the world is not far behind. Australia is making significant strides in the transition to a digital economy. The move aligns with the broader global trend towards digital payments. The Commonwealth Bank of Australia, one of the nation's largest financial institutions, has decided to stop offering cash withdrawals and deposits at select branches. Now, this again, and yes, it's going to happen, and it's happening fast because time's up. But this is affecting the most vulnerable and the poorest the hardest, because they operate on cash. They operate on gifts given to them and handouts. And now cash is being systematically removed to force people to go digital, where all your assets and your finances and everything can be controlled and then held depending on whether you're obedient and falling in line or not, because that is the New World Order system. And again, not just Australia. Australia might be leading the charge on this, just like Canada's leading the charge on euthanasia, but it is everywhere, and it's becoming more commonplace. You go to various places. I mean, me, just in the last week, I can count on both hands the amount of places I passed where they say, no cash. We don't do cash. This is a cash-free area or shop or institution. You have to use digital payment methods for our safety and yours. So that's a byword they'll use here in South Africa, where crime is rampant. Oh no, you don't have to carry money. It's safer not to have money, because then they can't steal it. And then eventually they'll say, you know what, it's safer not to have even a card on you. You can just have the chip, because then it's in your body. They can't steal your hand. Or can they? A perfect storm is brewing that could wipe out a major staple food. Japan, a nation with deep-rooted history of rice cultivation, is grappling with an unprecedented challenge dubbed the Raiwa rice crisis. The shortage of the staple crop has sent shockwaves through the agricultural, economic, and cultural landscape, raising concern about the future of rice production. Record-breaking temperatures made for smaller than usual 2023 crops, so stockpiles were then lower going into 2024 and 2025. Climate change directly impacted agricultural yields. High temperatures stressed the rice plants, reducing harvest, depleting reserves, and then compounding the issue. They say too many tourists are driving up demand when they come, and this has led to a frenzy of stockpiling, leaving shelves bare and prices soaring, and this is causing chaos. This is going to be more prevalent with more and more food types as this famine takes a grip worldwide going into the tribulation period. Again, to be expected. Mysterious, ancient, 12-mile wide interstellar object racing towards us. A massive interstellar object measuring 12 miles in width is currently speeding towards our solar system. Why is it speeding? Because it knows time's up and it needs to get you on schedule for its appointment with mankind. The comet, tentatively named by observers, is expected to make its closest approach within the coming months. Experts emphasize that while it's racing towards us, there's no threat of collision. Yellowstone also won't erupt for the next 1,000 to 10,000 years. And no, don't worry, nothing is abnormal with the earthquakes. Astronomers are preparing to observe the object more closely as it draws near. The interstellar traveler is thought to be billions of years old, because this is the only speaky speak we can do when we talk about anything. Billions and trillions. This will be carrying materials from the early universe, because we received the email from the interstellar object saying what its inventory is. So this is how we know. Its size, comparable to a small mountain, makes it one of the larger known comets to visit our vicinity. But don't stress or worry, more are coming. Christians won't be here for that, but more will be coming. Much more. Trump says he's losing patience with Putin. Putin doesn't give a damn. Giving a 50-day ultimatum to Russia or face severe tariffs. Oh, he must be quaking in his boots. Thailand currently says one civilian killed as tensions rise on the border with Cambodia. A Thai civilian was killed after Cambodian troops opened fire along the border, the Thai government said. This is now in the last day. Cambodia and Thailand exchanged fire along the hotly contested border on Thursday, escalating a months-long standoff between the two neighbors that contributed to the suspension of Prime Minister Shinawatra of Thailand. Shots were heard early Thursday morning. An ancient temple site on the Thai side of the border whose ownership is disputed by the two countries. The Thai army said the Cambodian army fired 2 Russian-made rockets into civilian areas, killing 1 and injuring 3 others. The standoff also brought Thai-Cambodian relations to their lowest point in decades. It was ignited in late May in a skirmish between Thai and Cambodian troops along the border, with the death of 1 soldier. Thailand's army says all its F-16 fighter aircraft returned safely after striking 2 Cambodian targets. Cambodia's leader, Hun Manet, called on the President of the United Nations Security Council to convene an urgent meeting to stop what he called Thailand's aggression. Nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be upheavals and chaos between nations, and we're seeing more and more of them come into play every day. Literally this one right now. And people still think we've got lots of time. Nothing strange is going on. Then digital wearables is making a big splash under JFK Jr. in America, and he's got big plans to make sure all of you have got your digital wearables so that you can be monitored for health reasons, but with lots of other possibilities tied in, because eventually this will all tie into the implanted mark of the beast. This is also pointed to in the big, beautiful bill of Trump, that if you dig into the details, you'll actually see how much money he's allocated for this process. All part of preparation for the new world order, which is busy consolidating all of its plans and processes to get things ready for this final stretch. So crazy, out of control, everything seemingly falling apart. But for us as believers, everything exciting, prophecies coming to life, the words of God jumping out of the Bible, appearing right now around us in realistic things happening everywhere, and we know that everything is coming together for that final stretch. And one of the biggest events left is for us to be collected by the groom and taken to the place that he has prepared for us very, very shortly. Very, very soon. So, stay excited, stay positive, encourage one another with that blessed hope, and keep looking up. Shalom.